Príjemný dobrý večer všetkým. Vítame vás na našom dnešnom stretnutí, ďalšom zo série vzdelávaní bezplatných webinárov, ktoré sme pripravili a ktoré pripravujeme pre slovenských učiteľov. Víta vás občianske združenie EduSteps. Ja vás poprosím hneď na začiatku, aby ste mi dali a nám do štúdia, do chatu napísali, či nás vidíte, či nás počujete, či je s prenosom všetko v poriadku. Dnes naozaj, myslím si, zaujímavá téma, fínsky školský systém. Na dnešný webinár sme si pozvali nášho kolegu fínskeho učiteľa Pekka Ouliho, ktorý učí na strednej škole vo Fínsku a pokúsi sa nám povedať teda príbeh fínskeho školstva. V tej prvej časti trošku náš pohľad, pretože my sme vycestovali do Fínska a išli sme sa pozrieť na tento školský systém a potom v druhej časti vyspovedáme nášho kolegu Peku. Technické informácie, píšete, že je všetko v poriadku, že nás vidíte, že nás počujete, chat máte na to, aby ste si prezdielali svoje názory, námety, možno postrehy, možno niekto už s fínskym školským systémom skúsenosť má. Kľudne to môže napísať do chatu. Vy pri registrácii ste mali možnosť položiť aj otázku nášmu kolegovi, tak snažili sme sa do tej sústavy otázok zakomponovať aj to, na čo ste boli zvedaví. Nahrávka zo vzdelávania vám bude k dispozícii najbližšie 4 týždne. Skontrolovať si nastavenie obrazu, skontrolovať si nastavenie zvuku. Tí z vás, ktorí majú záujem o certifikát z tohto nášho dnešného stretnutia, na záver webinára vám zverejníme link a QR kód, prostredníctvom ktorého sa dostanete do prezenčnej listiny a na základe zápisu do prezenčnej listiny vám pošleme s nahrávkou aj certifikát. Takže vydržať do konca webinára a potom zverejníme ten link. Tak poďme k tomu, prečo sme vlastne vybrali takúto tému a prečo sa dnes tu spoločne stretávame. Nás veľmi teší, že je vás tu opäť veľmi veľké množstvo, takže o túto tému je určite veľký záujem. My chodíme, občianske združenie EduSteps, vzdelávať učiteľov po celom Slovensku, či už v rámci webinárov, workshopov, aktualizačných, inovačných vzdelávaní. A rovnako ako vy sme počuli veľa aj dobrého, ale aj zlého na fínsky vzdelávací systém. Od adorácie, aké je to skvelé, až k zatracovaniu, že ale to je tam ešte horšie ako u nás. Tak sme sa rozhodli spojiť tak príjemne s užitočným a rozhodli sme sa vycestovať do Fínska a v rámci aj takého poznávania krajiny sme chceli spoznať aj fínske školstvo. Myslím, že tak šťastie sa nám to podarilo a tento pohľad vám chceme, našu skúsenosť a aj pohľad fínskeho učiteľa dnes predostrieť a takto podať. Fínsko je naozaj úžasná, krásna krajina, precestovali sme tam toho veľa, je tam nádherná príroda, všetko funguje, všetko je tam samozrejme dobre zorganizované. A tí Fíni nás presvedčili, že sú naozaj neuveriteľne dôslední, dôkladní a zodpovední ľudia. Som vravel, je to krásna, fascinujúca krajina a v rámci spoznávania tejto krajiny sme sa zastavili aj v strednom Fínsku, to mesto Äänekoski, kde sídli veľká stredná odborná škola s názvom Poke. A tam poznáme niektorých učiteľov, pretože aj my v EduSteps sme súčasťou komunity učiteľov. My je expert, to sú ľudia alebo učitelia, ktorých združuje spoločnosť Microsoft, ktorí využívajú vo výchovno-vzdelávacom procese moderné prístupy, digitálne nástroje a hlavne nástroje balíka Office 365 spoločnosti Microsoft. A jedným z týchto učiteľov je práve aj Pekka Ouli, ktorého vidíte teraz na slajde, náš kolega, ktorý nás pozval k ním do školy a predstavil nám ich školu a ukázal, ako to tam funguje, aké majú triedy, aké majú učebnice, aké majú technické vybavenie škôl, aký je vlastne systém vzdelávania na strednej škole vo Fínsku. A veľmi veľa vecí máme podobných, ale niektoré zásadné sú aj rozdielne a tie sú naozaj niekedy fascinujúce. To sme cítili ako taký najväčší rozdiel medzi našim a fínskym školstvom. O tom dnes samozrejme budeme ešte hovoriť. Tu vidíte priestory školy, v ktorej sme sa boli pozrieť. Hovorili sme s niekoľkými učiteľmi. Keď sa pozrieme tak vo všeobecnosti na štruktúru vzdelávacieho systému vo Fínsku, je veľmi podobný ako náš, predsa sa však len v niečom líši. Fínske deti nastupujú do školy v 7. roku života. Základná škola je 9-ročná, rovnako ako u nás, čiže od tých 7 do 16 rokov žiaci navštevujú základnú školu. Po skončení základnej školy prichádza také jedno veľké celofínske testovanie, zásadné, ktoré určuje, momentík, z režie máme asi trošku bližšie mikrofón, aby som si dal, aby ma bolo lepšie počuť. Tak dúfam, že je to v poriadku, že ma počujete. Tak po skončení základnej školy prichádza testovanie. Na základe výsledkov tohto testovania si žiaci vyberajú. Áno, skúsim to ešte bližšie. Na základe toho si žiaci vyberajú stredné školy. Existuje tam všeobecná stredná škola, to je ekvivalent nášho gymnázia a potom sú to odborné školy. Po skončení základnej školy má fínsky žiak ešte možnosť dobrovoľne dodatočne sa vzdelávať 1 rok na základnej škole a to môže urobiť v tom prípade, ak si chce doplniť svoje vzdelanie a potom 17 pokračovať v zamestnaní, alebo ak sa chce dostať na nejakú lepšiu školu, chce dosiahnuť v tom testovaní lepší výsledok, aby sa treba dostal aj na gymnázium. A potom je to podobné opäť ako u nás. Po maturitnej skúške z gymnázia sa ide na bakalárske, magisterské alebo doktorandské štúdium, rovnako je to možné aj z odbornej školy. Tak, to je taký základný systém fungovania fínskeho školstva. Veľa sme počuli o tej reforme školstva vo Fínsku a my veľmi dobre vieme, že práve zažívame takú reformu školstva alebo transformáciu národného kurikula, hovoríme tomu takto na Slovensku. Tá veľká reforma školstva vo Fínsku začala v 60. rokoch minulého storočia a ak si myslíme, že u nás to bude trvať možno 5-6 rokov, tak tie skúsenosti z Fínska nám hovoria, že kým tá reforma prešla a hlavne kým ju prijali učitelia vo Fínsku až do 90. rokov. Ale samozrejme potom sa to odrazilo na vynikajúcich výsledkoch fínskych žiakov a študentov v meraní PISA. Je tu medzinárodné meranie kognitívnych schopností žiakov krajín OECD. Funkčná gramotnosť celková sa skúma hlavne teda v oblastiach matematickej, čitateľskej a prírodovednej gramotnosti. Od toho roku 2000 sa tí fínsky žiaci umiestňujú na tých najvyšších priečkách. Takým dôležitým aspektom reformy vo Fínsku bolo zrušenie napríklad diferenciácie škôl. To znamená, školy sú jednotné, neexistujú tam žiadne nejaké súkromné školy, 8-ročné gymnázia. Každý má iný prístup k tomu vzdelávaniu, nehovoríme, že je to lepšie ako u nás, len poukazujeme na tie rozdiely, ktoré sú vo Fínsku a u nás. Oni tvrdia, že je vždy lepšie, ak tí najlepší žiaci sa vzdelávajú spolu s tými najslabšími, pretože tí najlepší žiaci potom aj tak vzdelanostne porastú na tých gymnáziách, ale tí najslabší sa s tými najlepšími ťahajú hore. Takže to je ich pohľad na vec. Tak toto u nás fungovalo v 70. a 80. rokoch. Ďalším dôležitým faktorom reformy bolo, aspoň čo my sme to tak cítili zo slov fínskych učiteľov, že tí žiaci vo Fínsku od 1. do 9. ročníka sa učia podľa jednotného kurikula, podľa jednotného kritéria, všetky školy sú štátne, sú rovnako financované, nesmú brať žiadne poplatky. Čo je veľmi zaujímavé a súvisí to aj s takou mentalitou a nastavením celého národa vo Fínsku, je to, že v 80. rokoch minulého storočia bola zrušená štátna školská inšpekcia. Tam to nie je potrebné. Fíni nám to zdôvodňovali tak, že oni nemajú problém s prípravou učiteľov, s odbornosťou učiteľov. Skôr sa sleduje z pohľadu vedenia vzdelávanie, celoživotné a ďalšie vzdelávanie učiteľov ako samotný výchovno-vzdelávací proces na hodinách. Štúdium vo Fínsku je kompletne zadarmo vrátane stravovania, dopravy žiakov do školy, učebníc, pomôcok, prípadného ubytovania, zdravotnej starostlivosti, exkurzií, ktoré organizujú školy, na nič nemusia doplácať rodičia a rodiny. Takže tam je tiež naozaj vidno, že ten štát investuje do toho vzdelávania a záleží teda tým štátnym inštitúciám, aby školstvo bolo bezplatné a dostupné rovnakým spôsobom pre všetky vrstvy spoločnosti. Ak sme hovorili o tej štátnej školskej inšpekcii a že tam to už teraz nie je, tak tá kultúra národa sa pozná určite od prvého dojmu, keď tam prídete a krajina vo vás zanechá určitý dojem. Fíni to majú všetko tak úplne jasne, efektívne nastavené, čistotu, spoľahlivosť, detailnosť. Cítili sme to aj v tej škole. Každý si to hneď všimne. Taký postreh náš napríklad vo verejnej doprave vo Fínsku. Neexistujú žiadne kontroly cestovných lístkov, neexistujú žiadne turnikety. Tam si pri automate s aplikáciou alebo s bankovou kartou zakúpite teda to cestovné a idete dovnútra a nikto sa o vás nestará, nikto vás nekontroluje, nie je tam žiaden turniket alebo nejaká kontrola, nejaký revízor alebo niečo iné a každý si samozrejme to poctivo kúpi. Materské školy, tam sme boli tiež v exteriéri s jednou materskou školou, kladie sa tam dôraz na hru. Fíni nechávajú vlastné deti až do 7. roku života v materských školách, takže až 7-ročný. Je niekoľko krajín na svete, väčšina posiela žiakov alebo deti do školy v 6. roku života. Fíni veria, že hra výrazne ovplyvňuje osobnostný, emocionálny a kognitívny rozvoj toho dieťaťa. A je to podložené, tvrdia, že aj keď naše deti idú od 7 rokov do škôl, nie od 6, my ich nechávame dlhšie hrať sa v tých škôlkach, tak predsa dosahujú výborné výsledky potom v 9. ročníku. Vo fínskych materských školách je naozaj dosť učiteľiek, to sme si všimli aj s tými detičkami, na 4 až 8 detí musí byť jedna pani učiteľka, takže v priemere tým 5-6 deťom sa jedna pani učiteľka venuje v rámci materskej školy. Opäť dôraz a dôkaz toho, že Fínom na vzdelávaní veľmi záleží. Určite náš taký postreh, boli sme v Helsinkách, v hlavnej knižnici, takéto knižnice sú v každom väčšom meste vo Fínsku, určite toto je taký výstavný kus fínskeho vzdelávania. Nie je to taká knižnica v našom slova zmysle, je to doslova inštitúcia. Fíni dlhodobo patria medzi národy, ktoré najviac čítajú. V priemere každý Fín ročne prečíta 18 kníh. Vedú k tomu aj svoje deti. Vidno to na tých výsledkoch čitateľskej gramotnosti a videli sme to aj v tej knižnici. Je to knižnica novej éry, sú tam rôzne kútiky, herné, pre maličké deti, kde sa rozvíja už prečitateľská gramotnosť tých detí, kde chodia v rámci poobednej vychádzky nie do nákupného centra, ale práve do takejto knižnice s detičkami. Sú tam kaviárne, sú tam rôzne typy interaktívnych hier, obrázkových knížiek pre najmenšie deti, až po tých najväčších, po študentov. Sú tam rôzne dielne workshopové, kde máte 3D tlačiarne, kde sú rôzne kreatívne veci, ktoré môžete tvoriť. Sú tam hudobné štúdia, všetko je bezplatné. Sú tam nahrávacie štúdia, sú tam štúdia dramatickej výchovy. Všetko je zdarma, samozrejme musíte sa zapísať, požiadať si to do nejakého poradovníka a študenti v rámci riešenia projektov, problémových úloh, nejakých záležitostí zo škôl chodia práve aj do tejto knižnice a riešia tieto zadania a úlohy, ktoré dostanú v škole. Takže to naozaj veľmi zaujímavý príklad toho, ako to podporovať a pre občana Fínska je celá táto knižnica zdarma, tam sa ani neplatí nejaký poplatok ročný za to, že tam ste, je to maximálne podporované a hlavne mladí ľudia a mladé rodiny s deťmi sú podporované, aby chodili do tých knižníc a my sme tam boli možno 2-3 hodiny, ani sme všetko poriadne nevideli a bolo to fascinujúce. Ak by sme mali čas, tak v takejto inštitúcii zostaneme určite aj celý deň s tým, že si môžete dať tam aj príjemnú kávu a koláč. Takže opäť dôkaz toho, že sa investuje do týchto vecí. Možno je to námed na to, ako to robiť jednoducho. Že netreba nejaké obrovské veci meniť, ale naozaj detaily zmeniť a bolo by to oveľa lepšie. Tak, nejaké zaujímavosti zo systému školstva vo Fínsku. Deti, ktoré zaostávajú v prvom ročníku, majú špeciálnych pedagógov. Sú tam aj asistenti učiteľov, ale všetci títo ľudia musia mať vysokoškolské vzdelanie. U nás asistent učiteľa stačí, ak má stredoškolské vzdelanie. Vo Fínsku to tak nie je, zostávajú po vyučovaní a venujú sa týmto deťom na čele so špeciálnymi pedagógmi. Na každej škole vo Fínsku existujú špeciálni pedagógovia. Počas prvých 6 rokov vzdelávania žiaci v školách nie sú hodnotení. Takže od nejakých 7 do 12 rokov myslíme hodnotení nejakými známkami. Skôr je to slovné hodnotenie a učitelia vystihujú momenty, kde môžu toho žiaka vyzdvihnúť. Majú len jeden povinný štandardizovaný test, je to v 16. roku, teda v 9. ročníku a na základe výsledkov potom majú okruh škôl, na ktoré si môžu žiadať postúpiť ďalej. Deti sa nebiflia, suché fakty, vyučovanie prebieha interaktívne, robia veľa projektov. Učebnica je na základných školách, pretože neboli sme síce na základnej škole, ale videli sme učebnice zo základných škôl, sú koncipované tak, že predostierajú žiakom predovšetkým problémové úlohy, na základe ktorých tí žiaci tieto úlohy riešia. Takže nie je biflovanie, nie je to len zapamätaj si a porozumej, ale aj tvor, hodnoť, analyzuj, rob syntézu, tá vyššia Bloomová taxonómia cieľov. A samozrejme to zážitkové vyučovanie, to vám ukáže o chvíľočku aj kolega. PK, projektové vyučovanie na tej strednej škole, kde sme boli, polovička toho času sa venuje akademickým projektom a polovičku času žiaci celé štúdium pracujú na projektoch, na problémových úlohách. Tu vidíme hodnotenie žiakov vo fínskych školách, základná a stredná škola, tam také zvláštne od 4 do 10, 4 je najhoršia známka, 10 je výborný, najlepšia známka a na strednej škole je to písmenami I, A, L, C a tak ďalej, rovnako 7 stupňov, I je neprospel, L je výnimočný výkon najlepší, takže to je na strednej škole. Na univerzitách majú od 0 do 5, takže zase úplne iný systém hodnotenia, ale opäť zdôrazňujem, že na tej základnej škole viac sa hodnotí slovne, hlavne na tých nižších cykloch vzdelávania. Nekladie sa tam dôraz na vysvedčenia, na známky, na hodnotenie, na klasifikáciu žiakov, ale skôr na to formatívne hodnotenie žiakov a na ich motiváciu, aby chápali rovnako ako učitelia, aká je dôležitá potreba vzdelávania. Na stredné školy sa ide bez prijímacích skúšok na základe výsledkov žiakov. Na tých odborných školách sa kladie veľký dôraz na duálne vzdelávanie. Väčšina študentov študuje na odborných školách, nie na gymnáziách. Opäť jednoduchá záležitosť. U nás väčšina žiakov alebo študentov študuje na gymnáziách. Viac ako polovička, menej na odborných školách. Tam je ten pomer nepomerne obrátený. Na vysoké školy sa dostávajú len tí najlepší, určite. Učiteľ je vážené a atraktívne povolanie. Vo Fínsku platy učiteľov sú naozaj na veľkej úrovni. Ak to niekoho zaujíma, 3 až 4 tisíc eur mesačne, stačí to naozaj na slušný život. Vysoké školy vo Fínsku si vyberajú tých najlepších študentov práve na štúdium pedagogiky, čo je tiež veľmi zaujímavé a nejakým spôsobom inšpiratívne. Výskumy v Fínsku ukázali, že lepšie výsledky žiakov dosahujú učitelia, ktorí dobre rozumejú štátnemu kurikulu, jeho cieľom, jeho ceste, kam sa chceme dostať, ako chceme učiť, čo chceme učiť, akým spôsobom, aký je obsah a forma toho, ako budeme učiť a ako budeme vzdelávať. Keď sme sa takto rozprávali, my v EduSteps dosť aj ten profesijný rozvoj rozvíjame u učiteľov a kladieme na neho dôraz. Častokrát počujeme, je to teória v tomto smere. Treba porozumieť tomu kurikulu, treba porozumieť tej ceste, kam sa chceme dostať a určite učiteľ musí byť dostatočne metodologicky vybavený, aby sme mohli naplňať zámery, myšlienky tej transformácie nášho národného kurikula. Je to veľmi dôležité, pretože aj tam sa nám to potvrdilo. Sme rozprávali s fínskymi učiteľmi o štátnom kurikule, o metodách, ktoré používajú, o projektovej práci, akým spôsobom to realizujú, o projektoch cez Erasmus, ktoré robia. Tí učitelia tomu všetkému veľmi dobre rozumeli a veľmi dobre rozumeli tomu, prečo to majú robiť. Ten systém a to presvedčenie je také, že vysoké investície do vzdelávania sú stále nižšie ako investície do podpor v nezamestnanosti alebo do fungovania väzenského systému. Pretože nielen vo Fínsku podľa výskumov existuje priama úmera medzi vzdelaním ľudí, ich gramotnosťou a počtom ľudí, ktorí sa nezaradia do pracovného procesu alebo ktorí spáchali nejaký trestný čin. Tak ja myslím, že na úvod by to z našej strany mohlo byť všetko. Naozaj sme chceli urobiť takýto vstup, aby sme nám naše dojmy z toho fínskeho školského vzdelávacieho systému takto prezdielali a teraz v tejto chvíli už odovzdám slovo do štúdia, kde je už pripravená moja kolegyňa a rozhovor s našim kolegom Pekom Oulim. Takže ešte raz príjemný večer a odovzdávam slovo fínskemu učiteľovi.
Hello, Pekka. Welcome to our webinar and thank you for accepting our invitation. There are a lot of teachers from Slovakia here today and we hope to have a nice time together and bring something useful and informative for all of us. So let me ask you a few questions. My first question is about you. Could you introduce yourself? What school do you teach at and what subjects?
Okay, I'm Pekka Ouli. I work at Vocational College at Äänekoski in central Finland. I have been teaching automation and electronics in my past. I've been working since 1997, so it's a quite long journey. And at this moment, I work mainly with educators. We are having workshops with them, but we are also doing some workshops with students.
Can you tell us how your school works, how many students it has, and what a typical school day goes in a Finnish high school looks like?
We have around 2,000 students and somewhat 200 educators working at our school. And because we are a vocational school, we have a different methods learning. We have classrooms, we have big workshops, but also our students are learning at the workplaces. So probably it depends part of the year how many students are at the school.
How many hours a day do students spend at school?
I think the number of hours have been declined since the years, but I think 30 hours per week is now what we are having.
Do they go to school 5 times a week? I mean, from Monday to Friday?
We try to arrange so that the education is each weekday, but sometimes we don't manage to do that, and we have to do like 4 days a week.
What are the working hours of a Finnish teacher? What is your direct educational work with students, and how much time do you spend preparing for lessons?
I discussed with my colleagues, and this depends from the subjects that they are teaching, and school level, primary school, vocational school, polytechnic or university. At our school level, educators have certain weekly hours that include everything, and it's something like 37.5 hours per week. But something I think about education is 25 hours or something like that. But in primary school, it's lower. It's something like 24, 26 hours per week.
Teachers work at the same hours in Slovakia. What are the professional development opportunities and the requirements for teachers in Finland? And how do you personally train?
Actually, last Friday, we had workshops. We have one campus attending these things, and we had a whole day different workshops. I think at our school, around 5 days per semester, teachers are educating themselves. Not all are offered by the school, but you can go to other courses, online courses, fairs or something like that. It can be even more.
And is this professional development for teachers mandatory or voluntary?
This 5 days is mandatory, but if people want or need, you can negotiate quite easily to have it more.
Okay, and my next question is, do teachers pay for these trainings, or is it paid by the school or by Ministry of Education?
We have a lot of projects that are providing trainings. So basically, they are investing their own time for that kind of thing. The workshops that school provides, they are getting paid, but for the extra things, I think we can find the funding for even paid courses.
And how often teachers participate in training and courses to improve their teaching skills?
I think almost everything people train relates to this teaching thing. Workshops we're having at Friday, we were thinking about 2/3 was pedagogy, why you are doing something, and one part was like ICT.
And these 5 days apply to all types of school? I mean, primary, secondary, high schools?
I think it depends from the schools, but I think it's in the same area. Like, but the topics change. Like the amount is a change, but how they are.
Yeah, I understand. For our teachers, some of the professional development is required by the ministry, and some is left to the teachers. And what opportunities do teachers have for international exchange and collaboration with colleagues from the other countries?
I think it's quite easy. If you are willing to go, there are a lot of possibilities. We haven't done too much that kind of thing our school, and I think each year you can go participate some training or benchmarking some schools. So and we have been accredited for Erasmus, so it's continuous work at this moment.
Can you tell us something more about this Erasmus Plus project?
We have been collaborating mainly with European partners, but also most exactly have been India. So with the Erasmus, it's possible to collaborate in them, and we applied one project, Future Skills, and we were exploring extended reality and entrepreneurship with students. And we have been visiting India, and Indian people have been visiting here, Lebanon, Portugal, Poland. And I think people have amazing ideas everywhere. And at one point, I had possibility to participate Microsoft E2 event at Singapore. And we spent that time quite nicely, get to know people, and we have continued to collaborate with Erasmus funding in the long run.
It sounds great. Are teachers motivated to take part in these activities or this project?
It depends. I have heard some teachers that no, you cannot go 3 times a year visiting some country, but I think Finnish educators are quite skilled in English languages. Some people speaking German, French, Swedish, so they are that way capable going, and because it's very easy to travel, it's just like if you have some idea what you want to experience, you can go.
Maybe the next question is from the other side. What is the relationship between the school and parents? Are parents involved in the life of the school and the educational process?
As a parent, I think Finnish way of thinking, like when you are going to a secondary school, you try to get your young people responsible what they are doing, but if there are some problems, we ask students can they parents follow your if you are missing from the school or something like that. And but I think the main thing is like when the age comes higher and higher, parents want to keep responsibility for the young people. In primary school, they are doing a lot of collaboration with the educators and having messages and emails and stuff like that.
Yes, definitely. Parental involvement in school activities is very important as it increases the motivation, achievement, and well-being of students. I think it shows that education is valued, builds confidence, and promotes positive attitudes. So It is very important. The next question is about evaluation. How are pupils assessed? How are pupils and students classified in primary and secondary school?
This is a question that comes always, and people think that Finnish students don't get assessments, but I think it depends a lot of about the learning. It can be project, it can be very simple essays or multiple choices, but I think for example, if you are working in a restaurant or something like your assessment is you are making food for 20 people, 50 people. So it's very diverse. You cannot say it depends on the learning model.
So how do students receive their end of year certificate? Is it the combination of grade and verbal assessment, or just grade, or just verbal assessment?
About evaluation, when people think, do we evaluate anymore? I would tell every day, like we are reflecting with the students and discussing what is going right and what is going wrong. And we are putting students to reflect what they can do, like rubrics and stuff like that. But the grading is quite boring. You get we have courses. They are like go, no go, and then the big parts, like 5 or 6 parts of the. So we are thinking that in professional subjects, you need time. You can be a slow learner, but it doesn't matter if you are learning. Then we just, when you want, then we have these gradings at the workplaces. So it's not just teacher, but it's persons from companies and students, and we discuss and we use these matrices. We have also academic studies at our school, and they are just graded. No people from workplaces to evaluate your English studies.
What subjects and courses are compulsory for students at the school where you teach?
We have at our every school level we have academic path. So your language studies, mathematics, physics, they are the mandatory, and the other subjects depends from the area you are studying. Like we have construction, agriculture, business, nursing. So even in those areas, you have some menu that is mandatory, and then you have something you can choose.
This combination of compulsory and optional subjects gives students not only a solid foundation, but also the opportunity to tailor their education to their own goals and interests.
Yeah, and I think that it's even possible to mix, like you are learning car service and business. So maybe you are thinking that you will run your own car service business. So you need to learn accounting and repairing cars.
And what are the most common teaching methods used in your school?
Also a good question. People think they rule out themselves, but at start, people come to classroom, but quite quickly we try to get them to workshops, and as soon as possible we try to get them to workplaces. So it's a mixture, and I think if you are trying to understand things, you need to apply that learning somewhere. It's like the Bloom taxonomy and different levels. At the first levels, you go to school, you memorize things, you are writing these things, you are answering multiple choices, but you go deeper and deeper to the rabbit hole, and you need to apply your learned skills and maybe even find new solutions.
You told us before that by 2025, your goal is for students to use chatbots to better understand and practice the curriculum.
Yeah, at this moment we are piloting and testing like customer service in healthcare. We have like a digital grandmother, and she has memory problems, some health problems, and with your own voice you can practice these soft skills. Many times in healthcare, people are thinking that these hard skills are important, but I think that customer service in every area is very important, and I think that it's possible to train these kind of things with the AI assisted bots, and you can make them very angry. So you can learn how to handle angry customers. They can be various scripts how to do it, and I think it's coming very soon.
It sounds really interesting and exciting. I think that the combination of modern technology, project-based learning, and artificial intelligence shows that you are keeping up with innovation and really trying to tailor learning to students' needs.
Yeah, and I think that to understand different kind of people is very important, because if you don't have people to practice with or ideas, you don't understand. And actually simulation training is one thing. You can switch the roles, like I'm learning from the viewpoint of the customer, and then you are switching the professional. And when you have experienced something like healthcare situation and nobody understands you, then it's easier to ask the right questions when you are the professional. It can be also like preparing your car. The customer tells that there's something strange in my car, and the professional just says that, okay, I just change your tires. And I think that even with the artificial intelligence, it's a possibility to learn acting with people. It doesn't mean that we are not training with actual people, but it's the first phase. And you get confidence, and when you are confident enough, you can train with the real people.
I think it is very important to realize that technology and AI can help us in many ways, but at the same time, it can be a good helper, but a bad master.
Yeah, and actually, last workshop where we were talking with the educators, they were very afraid that AI will take their job. But you have to have knowledge to evaluate what the AI produces. You have to have right skills to define what you are wanting. So if you're a skilled educator, AI is a good tool for you. But if you're a bad educator, you don't have any help from the AI.
At the school where you teach, you work with students on projects that link school and practice. Can you tell us about some of these projects?
Yeah, there are a lot of projects. There's one case that where a student was doing like artificial reality demonstration with a company that's producing doors, so you can place those doors at your home. People have been doing AI with marketing tourism. They have been doing some music stories and pictures, and so I think the collaboration with the companies brings needs to use that kind of thing. It's not just like, okay, teachers are trying to make up some absurd scenes. Sometimes we find that it's possible. Companies and workers, they are wanting something that is not possible yet, but we can continue. One thing was very like how I say, we have immigrants, and one student was using AI to teach language and finding ways to communicate. So sometimes students have very special ideas. I want to do something, but I need to learn how to use technology or methods, and they are really good learning projects.
This approach to projects at your school perfectly blends technology with practice, giving students a truly valuable experience and preparing them for the many challenges of their future careers.
Yeah, I think so. And it has brought a diverse set of learners to our school. The highest educated learner at the school was a doctor, like a doctor of philosophy, but she wanted to learn how to make games. And we helped her, and she has been making games. So I think microlearning is a huge opportunity for the schools. Like during the learning process of people, there are long lines. And for example, artificial intelligence is something that many people have not have in their schools when they have studied.
And how do you integrate technology into learning and teaching?
I think many times people think we must learn a program. I think we have to find a way to use it. And during the workshops in Friday, we did the program so that we didn't talk about anything about the programs at first. For example, when we are trying to make our learning material more accessible, for example, we were discussing how can we do it. Okay, if we have videos, we can make texts for them, we can translate them, and what if we make them short? And I think how you are using technology, it must support the idea behind the learning. So the pedagogy is the most important thing, and then you find the right tool. Not like you are learning a lot of programs and then you are trying to find the solutions where to apply these things.
Do Finnish teachers like using technologies?
I think it depends from the teacher. There are teachers that are like a nail and hammer kind of things. They are just educating very basic things. But for example, when we are teaching truck drivers and forestry machine drivers, we have simulators, very expensive digital simulators. Many people in different countries say that it's very easy to drive a car. You just drive it. But if you have seen Finnish trucks, there are chemicals and they are very, very long. You can practice in a very sustainable way to drive them and before you are 18. So in Finland, you have to be 18 to drive an actual car, but you can start the learning before the age 18. So educators are using drones I think using Microsoft 365 is like almost everybody is using it some part. So we have so much tools, but you have to have, it's not the idea, you have implemented very carefully.
What is the role of companies and employers in the dual education system in Finland?
I think it's mandatory because we need to get the like a reflection or the grading help from the companies. So it's the people from the companies and teachers that are giving the grading. So we are doing a lot of work with them.
I think partnerships with industry enable students to gain real work experience, which greatly enhances their practical skills and employability. And these collaborations benefit both the students and the companies that can prepare future employees.
Absolutely, but many times we have collaborating so much that companies want to hire our students before they are graduating, and we are saying, okay, those students need that graduation if they're going after the school or after the work, the higher education. So, but I think it's very important.
And what are the main benefits of dual education for students, and how does it affect their labor market readiness?
I think it's the contacts they are already making with the companies. They know the people, not just the educators and the subjects, and they can go to different companies during their school years, and that how they can get experience from different areas and maybe refining what they want to pursue.
What is your opinion about online education? Is this type of learning used in the school where you teach?
I think we are trying to focus more and more this kind of things because people are spending more and more time at the companies. So we have to do something like flipped learning. So when students are coming to school, they have read or get the basics from the stuff, and when they are at school, it's like a very efficient time. So I think the mixture where students are learning, the online learning is an integral part of that thing.
I also think this approach is effective. Combining online learning with face-to-face sessions gives students flexibility and the opportunity to delve deeper into the content. And the blended learning model not only takes into account different learning styles, but also ensures that theory is supported by practical experience, leading to better understanding and application of knowledge.
Yeah, and I think people have to understand the whole path. Many times, people that are already working at the companies, they have not learned this way, and we have to tell them that this is not. We are not slacking. We are trying to make it more efficient. And you were totally right when you are telling that if you need some time to go really deep at some parts, you can spend your time. So like extras for the fast learners. But I think it's also good that if you have slow learners, they can spend more time at some parts. So using videos, using AI chatbots, it will be a big thing in the future too.
In Slovakia, online teaching is still at the beginning and a lot of people are resisting it, although universities already have blended learning. Some is face-to-face and some is online. And there are certainly many advantages to this, especially for adult education, because they can save time traveling?
My colleague Matti Nurro, who's teaching youth counselors, he's saying that everything that is done at the school can be done online. And you have to just find ways and right tools. And it doesn't mean, many people think you are giving just assignments and people are doing, then you can do collaboration and you can do reflection. But you have to have a script for all of this. If you have no experience how to do it, you are maybe just, okay, I make an email and this is e-learning.
Your school has been using artificial intelligence in the classroom for a long time. Can you tell us how you use AI?
The teachers are very interested about making lesson plans, like pedagogical plans, didactical plans, scripts to video, assignments, different kinds of assignments. So it's like it can be kind of news to you, like suggest me new ways how to learn this thing. And we have made a AI policy for educators and students, and we are encouraging people to use it. But we want that when you are doing something with the AI, you have to tell it you have been using it, how you directed it, and how you evaluate it. So you have to have knowledge how to do it. Just asking like from the Google and blindly accepting the answers, it's a very, very bad way.
I am convinced that our teachers will soon start to take advantage of current technological possibilities, including artificial intelligence, which can be an excellent tool to support teaching.
Absolutely. And I think every new thing brings fears. And I think the education is a tool in the school. You are in the right place. Everybody is a learner, and everyone can learn new things. So educators, students, they are both learners when facing AI.
What do you see as the strengths of the Finnish education model, and conversely, what do you see as the weaknesses?
I think Finnish educators are quite well educated. From the university or polytechnic school, and people apply still to be at the educational profession. I think it's also the weakness that we don't have centralized controlling things, and it depends really much about moral and ideas of these teachers. And I think that so far it has brought really good results because we have invested so much in the education. But if this investment fails and we are spending less and less time educating these people, it's very fragile. But we'll see what will happen.
I agree that, especially in these times of rapid technological and environmental change, it is important to ensure that education covers the basic issues that are relevant to the whole population. Equal access to technology education should be a priority so that no one is left behind and everyone has the opportunity to develop the skills necessary for the future, especially in less accessible areas.
I absolutely agree, and it means me, and it means my parents, and I think everybody is a learner because new technologies come, like remote healthcare or stuff like that. If people don't know how to use it, they become angry, they become suspicious, and it slows the development. And at this point of time, our healthcare is digitizing really, really quickly. And old people, they are facing some problems, but we are trying to make workshop with our students and partners that even the old people can be learners. So I think it's really, really important.
What innovations and reforms are planned for education in Finland?
Good question. I think that Finland aims for higher education, and they have been funding polytechnic schools and universities and taking money from the secondary school. So it was okay since now that people are getting multiple degrees in vocational education, but now only one degree, and then you must pay yourself your learning things. So they are aiming that when you go to vocational school, next stop is polytechnic school. Big discussion at the moment at Finland, because I think many times people think the education something like it's not like a pipe, it's like a loop. People are coming back to school, working, going back to school, and it depends from the work what kind of school you are going, university or vocational school. So basic things, I think that it would be perfect that basic things are taught at the vocational school, and then the more complex thing at the polytechnic and university.
Step by step. Does a Finnish teacher have time for his own hobby? What do you do in your free time?
Yeah, absolutely. And for example, in the weekend, we were at the summer camping. We go hiking, boating, skiing quite soon because everything is frozen.
What is the weather like in Finland now?
Quite hot. It's 9 degrees. And at the night, it's something like 0. And many educators, they have creative hobbies or sports. And I play guitar, and we have international music project. Joulumanteli, we are making Christmas songs, something like 200 songs in 7 years. And I hope we'll get even participants from your country.
It's great to see how promoting work-life balance allows teachers to pursue their hobbies and develop outside the work environment. Such activities not only contribute to personal fulfillment, but also bring new perspectives to working life that can enrich education itself.
I think it's an old value like work and development of you is really important, and family. Family is really important.
Family is the first. Thank you so much. We have received many more questions from our teachers, and we've chosen a few that we think are interesting and that we haven't talked about yet. Can we continue?
Yes.
Okay. When was the last time the Finnish school system was reformed? What is the longest tenure of each of the most recent ministers of education, and what is their educational background and original profession? And how many years was it before the educational reform was put into practice?
I think that if we look in a big picture, the education ministers change too often in Finland. I think it's like 1 year is a normal, and then they go to other slot. They are politicians, and they come from a very diverse set of like backgrounds, and I think the officials at the education ministry are doing these long-term things like education reforms and stuff like that. So during that kind of process, we have maybe 4-6 ministers that are getting these things done. At 2018, the big reform in the vocational education was, and we were changing like that, putting together like adult and youth education and different funding things. And in the primary education, 2016, new curriculums like multidisciplinary studies were introduced. So not too often, but not too far away.
Which foreign languages are compulsory and optional for students? Is English sufficient, or are students motivated to learn foreign languages? How does Finland deal with student autonomy, responsibility for one's own progress and achievement through personal responsibility, preventing copying, plagiarism, shortcuts, and so on?
I think that copying other students' answers is a very old profession. Everybody has been doing it, and we have been discussing with the teachers, with the emerging of the AI, that discussing face-to-face with people, you will know if the person understands what he's talking about. So I think human connection is more and more important when the technology emerges. For the language studies, I think that English and Swedish studies are mandatory during the because Finland is bilingual. Jag pratar också svensk. I also speak Swedish. And
do you speak Swedish fluently?
No. It's mandatory for the government officials have a basic skills. I can attend the meetings and understand what is taught there, and but because we don't have those meetings too often here, it's declining. But it's still there. And some schools have Germany, France, Russia, and what they are using.
Do Finnish schools have teaching assistants? And if so, how do they work and what are their working hours?
I think in the Finnish model, we have a school assistant and co-teachers. And these basic level assistants, they try to make the students understand the questions and subjects. They collaborate with the special teachers and help so that all the teachers' time doesn't go for the one teacher. One teacher.
How many children are in a mainstream class in a primary school? Are there children with learning difficulties in classes? Are there separate special schools?
I think the level of the inclusion depends. I think many people think that everybody goes to normal school, but we have special schools and special classes also. But the level of those needs tells where they are attending. I think Education Ministry tells something like 25 to 28 students per classes at the primary education is normal, but these students I was talking about, sometimes they come to extra at the classes, so sometimes there is 25, sometimes there's 30 students at the classroom.
What is the average teacher salary in Finland?
It depends from the area and how many hours you have. And I think the very start is something like 2,400. And if you are qualified in some subjects and special learning and something like that, it goes over 4,000. And in polytechnic schools and universities, I think in polytechnics, it's something like 4,000, 5,000.
Is it true that in Finland, after the technology boom, they are going back to textbooks? And how are the students responding? This has been the number one issue for us recently.
What boom? Actually, because it's not ordered from the above, it depends from the area and from the teachers. Some schools afford to have both, like textbooks and ebooks. Some schools choose with the subjects. Teachers have a strong influence in that. And sometimes even teachers are that we don't need either. We are making all these things from the material we can get from the internet. So there's no one solution, no boom.
How many children are there in kindergarten? How much time do Finnish kindergarten children spend outside?
I learned that very few. Like it depends from the age. I think it's even like with very young people. It's like 4 young kids up to 8, but 1 or 2 hours per day they are going outside, and we have even like forestry kindergartens where they go extra. And no matter what the weather is, I think the young kids like to go outside and do whatever they want.
Do children sleep in kindergarten, or they go home and return to kindergarten in the afternoon?
Yeah, they sleep at the kindergarten, and I remember my kids also that sometimes they are too excited that it's hard to, but they stay whole day at the kindergarten and sleep there.
Children with specific learning difficulties, do they have assistants, or does the children have to be in the classroom to look after them?
It depends how severe these problems are, and but we are aiming that if it's possible, they don't spend all the time at special education. That they are not spending the whole day at that small group, but if it's sports or something, that they go together with the normal class there. So it's a mixture.
This question is very specific. How pupils with disabilities are taught? Are autistics, schizophrenics, and other children with mental or behavioral disorders included in the classroom with normal children in Finland?
I was discussing with my colleagues, and I think what you're talking about with the autistic, there are a lot of in that spectrum, like fully autistic and HD, and if it's very affecting very low your performances, you are going the normal classes. But if you are schizophrenic, having bad mental illnesses, then you are going a different way.
What are the most common forms of assessment and how are students' knowledge tested? I know we have talked about it, but if you could say more about it, it would be nice.
It depends from the education method. So I think everything you can imagine, one kind of set in a classroom, other things in workshop, and one things in when people are studying in a work life or doing projects at the primary school. So the educators have a very strong opinion what kind of things to choose, and we are trying to expand that kind of thing, telling the educators you have the freedom to try different things. For example, if you are thinking about tests, it's perfectly okay that if you're a student, I'm teacher, we are discussing these things and I'm evaluating you. So no standard tests. It gives you freedom even to evaluate students with that discussion.
How is physical education taught and what is the maximum number of students per class?
I think at our school, it's same as in a normal class, how many students are participating. But because we have young people and adults, sometimes we are giving them assignments to do those physical things at their free time, like learning time. So they are doing physical learning assignments. I think in the primary school, it's also the same that it's one class for one teacher.
Is it still the case in Finland that teaching is a highly sought after profession and only the best go on to study it?
I think still about in the universities, 10% of applicants get to study. And I think at the vocational school, we are also getting steady number of applicants to our school. And so it's valued. But I think that there are researches about the motivation of educators and number of teachers that are looking for work in a different area. It's increasing year by year.
How have you achieved that the teaching profession is highly valued?
I think one thing is that even the principals, they trust and give freedom for the educators. So I think the trust is the big thing that, and even the parents and companies, they give a lot of trust. I think also that when people are not happy with their profession, it comes from that sometimes some parents or organizations or companies, they think that it should be something totally different, and it makes a bit like a clash.
And how do you prepare and select school leaders for their position? I mean, principals.
I think all the principals or head principals come from the school background, and they are getting some administrative courses at the university. So I have not been selecting these people, but I think usually these high officials are selected by city council or something like that and interviewed. So they come from the school.
How many people decide who becomes a headmister?
I think it would be something like 6 or 8 people.
Are these people directly from the school or are they local councillors from the town?
They are politicians.
What does a teacher in a Finnish school have to do apart from teaching? And are there any conditions attached to the employment of a Finnish teacher, the violation of which means the termination of the employment contract?
Very hard questions. I think communication with the parents and preparing the lessons and conducting the lessons. I think it's
Is there any control?
From the principals. I think we don't have any cards or something like people are checking in or something like that. And I think that because people are very educated, they are very responsible. And I think I have never heard something like somebody is lacking very high morale. But I think that the students are also expecting that what is agreed it will happen, and they would be really suspicious if the teacher does something else.
How education and sport are linked in primary schools? Are there physical education classes in primary schools? Is sport only taught in the afternoon?
I think our town has been investing a lot in sporting facilities. They are near the schools, especially in primary school, and these places are used through the day and even at the evenings after school activities. So it's really encouraged, and we have a policy in our town that every student must have a free hobby, so they don't pay after school activities also.
What is the current textbook policy in Finland? Because I know that you have excellent textbooks in Finland. Is it true?
I think that it depends from the school level. Primary school have same kind of curriculums. People are offering, publishers are offering books. And but in a vocational school, some subjects are so that there are even no books, and people have to get these things from other places. But Finnish language books there, I think we have plenty of them.
If someone decides to study in Finland, what do they have to do?
That, for example, in university, I think there are some programs, but I think it's a bit hard at this moment. And even you have money, Finnish people think that education is not for sale. You become Finnish person, and then you have possibility to study. But but in the universities there are some English programs, and in polytechnic schools also.
So, if I understand well, education is free for Finnish students, but not for foreign students.
I have to check my facts, but yes.
What is the teacher's position in Finnish society? How do parents perceive his professional opinion?
It depends. I think the society has gone. It's segregation. It's like we have a diverse set of people. Many people that have problems even with the school, and they don't value education. They just think that, okay, we are doing all our things. But many people that have a good education are working together with the schools. And I think it's functioning very well. But I think if the unemployment and drug problems and stuff, that kind of things come more common, it brings problems also to the school.
How do future teachers in higher education or even in lifelong learning prepare themselves for an ever-changing world in order to keep up with the times and new generations of learners? What approaches are they using to effectively manage a potential age gap of up to 40 years or more between themselves and their students? How do they ensure that teaching remains mutually enriching and does not become a situation where the older teacher no longer understands the younger generation?
I think it's a very hard question, like how people are doing it. But I think I have been collaborating with the AI. I've been telling AI that, okay, you are mentor to me, and I want you to explain these kind of things to me. And for example, I've been doing like Python programs that I have been capable of not doing them before. And I think that YouTube is full of videos, online courses, MOOCs and stuff like that. So if there's a will, there's a way.
A number of countries are currently postponing the retirement age. So at what age do Finnish teachers retire?
I think for me it's something like 67.
Do Finnish teachers have methodological support from the Ministry of Education, or do they have to prepare their own materials for teaching?
In our school, it's skill-based curriculum, and educators have a big possibility and responsibility to decide what materials they are using. So there's no rule. You must use these textbooks. So
the teacher can go his own way.
Yeah.
Pekka, thank you very much for your detailed answers. We are very happy to have been able to share all this information with our teachers and the general public who are interested in the education system in your country. We wish you all the best in your work and hope that we will be able to work together on further activities. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.
Tak, ďakujeme kolegyni Katke a Pekovi Oulimu za tento rozhovor. Pevne verím, že viacerým z vás priniesol aj odpovede na to, aký je vzdelávací systém vo Fínsku. Ak sa vám to páčilo, budeme radi, ak kliknete pod streamom na odoberať alebo subscribe, vyjadrite nám tým podporu a budeme vás informovať o ďalších našich aktivitách aj o bezplatných webinároch, ktoré pripravujeme pre slovenských učiteľov. Do chatu vám už kolegyňa dá link na zapísanie sa, aby ste mohli získať certifikát z dnešného vzdelávania. My vám veľmi krásne ďakujeme za vaše informácie alebo teda reakcie, ktoré máte, ktoré sú v čete. Poprosíme vás, aby ste nám to napísali aj do nástroja Mentimeterity, ktorí k nám chodia. Sú na to zvyknutí, ak zadáte menti.com a kód, ktorý vidíte na slajde, tak nám môžete zanechať svoj odkaz. Určite stalo nás to dosť námahy, aby sme vám to priniesli dnes. Ten rozhovor bol nahraný, samozrejme online predtým, museli sme ho zostrihať, preložiť, vložiť tam titulky, bola to niekoľko týždňová práca. Ak to niektorí z vás ocenia, budeme veľmi radi. Tí z vás, ktorí viac čakali, že tam bude o základných školách, stredných školách, teda materských školách, v anotácii sme jasne uviedli, že to bude rozhovor s učiteľom zo strednej školy a snažili sme sa mu dať otázky, ktoré ste nám poslali už pri registrácii. Ja si predsa len dovolím aspoň na chvíľočku, čo som zahliadol, aj v angličtine tam padli otázky. Kolegovia, kolegyňa sa pýtali, či vidí teda Peka, ja si dovolím zodpovedať za neho v tejto chvíli, potenciál v domácom vzdelávaní s využitím technológie, umelej inteligencie pod dohľadom školy. Oni to už realizujú. Naozaj to realizujú, robia to, sú na to pripravení. Študenti môžu zostať aj doma, ak pracujú na nejakých projektoch v určité dni na strednej škole. Padla tam otázka, aj kolegyňa sa pýtala, že aká je úroveň používania technológií, interaktívne tabule, počítače na základných školách. Rozprávali sme s učiteľmi zo základných škôl, ale boli sme na strednej škole. To, čo sme videli na strednej škole, ako sú vybavení technologicky, nám trošku vyrazilo dých. Naozaj sú technologicky najnovšími vecami vybavení a myslím si, že rovnako to bude aj na základných školách. Tí učiteľia majú možnosť pracovať s najnovšími technológiami a majú to hardwareové a softwareové vybavenie pripravené na veľmi vysokej úrovni. Rovnako v angličtine tam bola otázka, či sa cíti ako učiteľ Peka vo Fínsku ohodnotený. Myslím, že aj v tých odpovediach jeho to zaznelo. Áno, učiteľské povolanie je tam vysoko cenené a tá dôvera spoločnosti a komunít je veľmi vysoká v školstve a v učiteľoch. Cítili sme to tam aj z ich rozprávania, aj z toho, čo sme na tej škole videli. Tak ako reaguje fínsky systém na prevenciu syndromu vyhorenia zo strany učiteľov? To nevieme. Skúsime sa to spýtať Peku a priniesť vám to potom na ďalšom nejakom vzdelávaní. Čo nás čaká najbližšie? Opäť vám prinášame sériu bezplatných webinárov. Zajtra to budú základy hudobného aranžovania s kolegom doktorom Radovanom Šašalom. Takže pozývame srdečne. Na budúci týždeň to bude opäť bezplatný webinár Básnická rebelia, poézia, ktorá žiakov nadchne. Veľký nadšenec rozvoja čitateľskej gramotnosti, naša kolegyňa Vladka Kamhalová, obidvaja lektori z Prešova, ktorí svoje povolanie berú ako poslanie a chcú vám prezdieľať to, čo používajú vo svojej praxi, ponúknuť vám to a ukázať. Pevne veríme, že aj my sme vám dnes ukázali niečo užitočné. Píšete nám do chatu, ale je tam toľko veľa ľudí, že vás poprosíme opäť, aby ste teda nám zanechali to, čo nám chcete napísať práve v tom nástroji Mentimeter. Ešte raz www.menti.com a kód vidíte. Kolegyňa vám pripla do chatu. Hore to máte na tom chatovacom okienke úplne hore link na prezenčnú listinu. Ak to nepôjde klikom na ten link, treba ho okopírovať, otvoriť si nové okno v prehliadači a tam si otvoríte elektronickú prezenčku, kde môžete sa zapísať a pošleme vám certifikát. Áno, aj my vám ďakujeme. Naozaj boli ste tu učitelia dnes z celého Slovenska. Opäť opakujeme, bola to naozaj niekoľko týždňová príprava, kým sme vám ponúkli tento webinár. A ďakujem, že sú ľudia, ktorí to vedia oceniť. Ponúkame vám to bezplatne a poznáte občianske združenie EduSteps ako spoločnosť, ktorá sa delí o svoje skúsenosti a o to, čo získala aj s učiteľmi. Rovnako vás samozrejme stále pozývame aj na naše vedenia škôl, aktualizačné vzdelávania, ktoré máme v ponuke na našej webovej stránke www.edusteps.sk a rovnako inovačné vzdelávania, kde sa zameriavame hlavne opäť na digitalizáciu, na rozvoj kritického myslenia. Opäť využívam takéto veľké fórum. Rok 2026 sa blíži, kedy tie dočasné kredity, dnes je to už príplatok za profesijný rozvoj, nám všetkým padnú, tak nečakajte na rok 2026, ale pripravte si, vzdelávajte sa v kľude už v tomto období, obnovujte si svoje učiteľské kompetencie, osvojujte si nové zručnosti a pripravte si ten papier na rok 2026, aby ste kontinuálne mohli vedenia škôl požiadať opäť o príplatok za profesijný rozvoj. Ide o príplatok, ide o peniaze, ale ide aj o to, aby sme sa spoločne, profesionálne a profesne niekde posúvali. To stretnutie s fínskymi učiteľmi bolo pre nás obrovským prínosom. Videli sme, že sú nadšenci, chcú to robiť. Samozrejme majú na to finančné prostriedky, majú na to školy pripravené, je na to pripravená spoločnosť, pracuje sa ľahšie. Pokiaľ nevykročíme týmto smerom aj my, naše školstvo, tak sa nič závažne neposunie a nestane k lepšiemu. My vám veľmi pekne ďakujeme, že ste tu boli dnes v takom veľkom počte. Ešte raz vám prajeme ešte krásny zbytok dňa a tešíme sa na ďalšie stretnutia s vami. Prajeme pekný deň. Dovidenia.